Whoa, did someone make a rattlesnake noise just now? That was cool. Okay, welcome back to the land of make-believe around our little breakfast campfire here. We're going to start things off with sharing of the prompt. And if Langdon has anything to present, we're going to start with him.
Oh, I do.
Okay.
I'm most certainly do.
So Langdon, why don't you take us there and in the usual fashion?
I've known some bad folks in my life. Not that I'm any spring peach. Bad folks deserve a return on the bad they dole out in the Veldt. Skullfucker Grizz is no exception, deserving a return more than most. Rotiskith Gneskilir, those with the wisdom of the sky, my people, or, as you're more familiar, High Elves. We're a people of principle. The first High Elves lived above the world, on the highest mountains. Up there they saw everything, every petty crime, every act of love, every vile action brought to life. They even saw the Veldt, which is more or less in the same state now. After 100,000 years, my people took their first steps off the mountains. They came down to the lands below to spread their wisdom to the people of the valley, to teach them how to live, to bring justice, or, as they say in the Veldt, returns. Returns, however, is a misnomer. In the mind of the Veltlander, a return conjures the idea of a copy, a reflection, an exact punishment for the culprit's transgressions, an eye for an eye and all that. That's not justice. Justice, as with judgment, comes from above, from those enlightened and on high. When handing out justice, you must keep at bay those more carnal impulses. As satisfying as it might be to grasp Grizz by the skull and fuck his eye sockets until his brain turns to blood, so too would our principles be curdled. We must act with a higher intellect, as we are higher beings. As long as we watch our prey, we have as much time as we want. We should take our time, not be hasty. Spend a day or a week watching and recording their movements. As well, we'll prepare traps in the woods nearby. Pits, snares, nets, the like. We'll strategically plant somnium caches on the outskirts of their camp and on the inside of their livestock. Then the night arrives. While most of the camp is sound asleep, we'll strike. A small force will start fires on the edge. As goblins arrive to investigate, we'll detonate our caches. The explosions and fright will chase them into the woods, right towards our pits. No, this is not justice, not yet. It's important that, as they fall into their pits, we grant them mercy. Yes, mercy, for we are higher beings. And instead of killing them forthright and reveling in their blood, we'll only knock them out and take them back to the Baron's manor, my manor, and haul them down the elevator in carts, and lock them in cages, and suck out their dreams, and force them to fuck and birth until our pockets are full of somnium. And not another human has to go through taxation, because someone else is getting skull fucked for them.
Ooh, it got pretty dark towards the end. I liked it. Started really noble and went all the way from very high to very low with that. It was an interesting
cool
journey. Dr. Cumberbund.
So yeah, I guess since I was not here last week, I kind of went off of I guess what Woody kind of told me a little bit about what happened about the doctor being imprisoned in this orc fort. So
Oh, I forgot about that.
yeah. Okay. The orc wagons arrived at noon. They lined up outside the fort, single file, waiting their turn to pass through the brutalist front gate. Each wagon was stacked with shining treasures, frayed stuff sacks, and unwashed furs. As soon as a wagon would pass through the gate, underling orcs would hop out and begin to unload the loot bags that perched like fat birds on top of each. Bows and spears, rough-out leather throw rugs, and embroidered curtains. calfskin gloves too soft for hard work, a tapestry of a naked elf woman, a wheel of blue cheese. I can see they have done this routine dozens of times. Homecomings break out on the thoroughfare. Some fall into the arms of their families, who welcome them deep into their embraces. Children fall into the marauders' legs in mock exasperation, flinging their arms around as their tufts of hair are abraded by fingers stiff from holding reins and axes. They've been raiding, possibly for months. Months of debauchery. They're gorged on lust and rage, greed and hatred. From my second-story room, I shake at my shackles. The window provides an excellent view of the fort, and Francesca is in the opposite corner, partially obscured in darkness, still unconscious from the beatings we took prior to being chained to the walls. Back in the courtyard, shopkeepers kick their doors open wide as the new arrivals begin to bleed into the fort's interior. Everyone will eat well tonight, I can tell. Everyone but us, of course. My eyes are drawn to the horizon, where lightning cracks over the grassland like eggs over a great gray skillet. As soon as I notice this, I decide I'm going to start a fire here that'll eat every soul, scour every memory that reverberates through this fort. It hasn't occurred to me how this will happen, but that's of no concern. I will wait. Watching the clouds, I begin to think of the cure. This is how my mind works. Ingredients list through my head. Cures for gout. Tinctures capable of washing away a rash. My mind illustrates brightly colored bottles. 2-part elixirs. Vials of ghosts. Feeling at ease. Something to take the edge off while we all wait here together.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
That was great, Fergus.
Yeah,
Like
thanks.
that. It's a little in clash with some of like what's happening right now, but I think we can reconcile it. So
Yeah, I wasn't quite sure what exactly was going on.
But I mean, any of it can be slightly fever dreamed as well, and maybe a precursor to future activity. So yeah, Stephanie, if you have something to share with us, we'll move to you here. Okay.
I do not.
That's all right. Well, in that case, we will open on our adventurers here. Let me just. And our little group, minus Francesca and Dr. Cumberbund, are seated around a crackling campfire. Still digesting some pig from earlier and considering their options. When we last left our story, the group had emerged from underground, coming to the surface via a second secret elevator and emerging at the mouth of a cave near the Goblin Moonshine Camp. After dispatching some goblins that were up to nefarious and erotic activity, the group kind of scouted out their surroundings by climbing a hillock and moving to the top of a tall tree from whence they could see the goblin camp spread out before them. And while they sat kind of discussing what they would do next, Langdon saw through his spyglass in a break in the woods, a little party had captured Francesca and Dr. Cumberbund as they were en route to Reinhardt's public house. And with that, let's start things off with Langdon as he peers through his spyglass.
Well, shit. I thought it was bad enough that they had his they had his wagon, but Stephanie, it seems like our friends, Francesca and Dr. Cumberbund, who fled so hastily to try to seek help, have been captured, which, isn't really all that surprising to me.
Yeah. I feel like we warned them.
Yeah,
times.
we definitely told them so. But as captives, who knows how much time we have? I was hoping that we'd have more time to be able to set up a raid or get help from.
I can't see. What are you talking about?
Who is that?
Tiny
Is that you,
T.
Gary?
Yes, I'm small again. Me, Trimerius. Trimerius Hergum the Fifth. Trimerius starts to climb up your pant leg, Langdon. Let me look through that glass.
I'm gonna shake him off and say only those with pure eyes can peer through here. Push him away. Stephanie, we don't have the time that I was hoping for. We have to act maybe a little bit more brashly. In as little as a few hours, I'm sure our companions could get skull fucked at any moment.
And as you're talking, you hear a rustle nearby, and the goblins who looked like they had been drinking whatever was in Dr. Cumberbund's cart seem to have roused with terrible hangovers, and you can see them stumbling, and a few of them, one of them specifically, starts to walk in your direction. It seems like he might have spotted something through his hazy eyes. And everybody's got a turn of action here. And we'll just start with you, Langdon. And just for the sake of streamlining, let's try it for a little bit and see how it goes. Let's just do, like, when it's your turn, declare one action and then roll for it. Like, I'm going to do this, give me a number, and then we'll go from there, and I'll just, just to see how that works and if we like that any better.
Cool. I'm gonna grab Trimerius by the scruff of his neck and go hide behind that tree behind me.
Okay, yeah. Give me a roll. Give me a number.
So,
I think it is.
Cool. Do I get any sort of bonus to it?
Yeah, whatever you think is necessary. If you get a hide, yeah, like. And
cool, like a dex, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So that would be a 20.
Okay, so you tuck in with Trimerius holding his little mouth closed so he doesn't make a noise. Jerry runs and jumps behind this tent over here to conceal himself. And Stephanie?
I'll go in between those two rocks towards the cave entrance.
Oh, sure.
And hide. I have like a crazy hide bonus. So,
okay.
But 20.
Stephanie jumps back into hiding. And this one goblin comes in. He looks around, and he quickly spots two slain goblins covered in pig fat and remains of a cooked pig. And he quickly rushes back to the other two goblins in the cart. And after exchanging explicatives, they rush off up a set of crude like log ramp and toward the moonshine camp. All right. So they didn't see any of you, but they know that there's something going on here.
I want to rush over. Is it my turn?
Yeah.
I want to rush over to the cart and see if and can I sneak over to the cart and try to like stealthily look over there?
Yeah, so you sneak over under this hill and over to the cart, and you see it's largely been rifled through, but there's a few bottles intact, and then there's some little crates and things back there that presumably contain raw ingredients, and you can see that Dr. Cumberbund's personal alchemical journal / recipe book is intact.
Cool. Oh, there's Sam. Here's Jerry.
Hey, Jerry.
Jerry, can you hear us?
Jerry?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was really spooky for a second. You're just like sitting in shadow quietly.
Me?
Do you have a writing sample to share, Jerry?
Yeah, I have a short one. I couldn't find where the actual prompt was posted. I just knew it was like about Grizz, so I just made one about Grizz, a short one.
Okay, so as as Langdon is rummaging through this medicine cart, we cut back to Jerry, who has hidden himself behind this little tent to steer clear of the goblins. And as he's sitting there, he's thinking about something.
Skullfucker Grizz. Let me find it. All right.
And that's all I have.
And
That's
all I
it.
got so far.
Skullfucker Grizz is a mean, ugly bastard, or so they say. But I'm beginning to think this story, this legend of a goblin, is a bit played out. Perhaps a tale designed to ward off intruders? I mean, does Grizz even exist at all? And if so, what is the honest stature of this larger-than-life being? I'm here to tell you that it doesn't matter. Jerry Duster is here to tell you it doesn't matter. Jerry Duster is the cream of the crop on a particularly good yield. And like cream, he will rise to the top. Grizz or no Grizz, you'd be wise to stay out of Jerry Duster's way. And that's it.
Okay.
Nice.
That was, I was trying to go for like a pro wrestler sort of thing. That the cream of the crop thing was, I took that from Macho Man Randy Savage.
Cream of the crop. Jerry, so we're going
Cream
to
of the
kind of technique today and just see if it streamlines anything, see how we like it, kind of playing with the mechanics. When it's your turn, declare one action you're taking, and if you think it is necessary that it has a roll associated with it, go ahead and roll it as you're saying and just tell us the result. And then, if I think there should be a modifier, if I think roll again or whatever, like we'll just try to see if we can just, we'll just go with like one action turns basically, see how that works out.
So, yeah. So like even in combat, like where you would not move and attack, you're just going to move or attack sort of thing?
Or maybe like you say, I go over there and attack this guy, 16,
Okay.
I go over there and swing my axe at this dude, 16, that kind of thing. Maybe we can kind of consolidate it, but just seeing if we like it better. And if we don't, we can default.
Okay.
Up to you guys. But let's go ahead and give you an action, Jerry, since you're behind that pup tent. You've seen that Langdon has gone over here to investigate the contents of this medicine cart formerly belonging to Dr. Cumberbund.
I mean, can you catch me up real quick? We're still in the same campsite where we killed those 2 goblins last time?
Correct.
Okay.
And some goblins came by and discovered the bodies, and then ran off. They didn't see us, but they did see the dead goblin bodies.
Okay. I guess I'm going to go over to the cart and assist Langdon in I guess searching the cart for clues.
Okay.
That's what's going on. So I rolled 10 for any relevant search.
Okay, we'll hop back to that.
Right.
And Stephanie.
I will follow them over to the cart too.
All right, Stephanie also makes her way over to this cart.
Did you see? Sorry, can you show me where the goblins climbed up? Oh, like right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you all are looking through this cart. and you've seen it before. And Stephanie, you definitely were part of the sideshow, so you know your way around this thing. As you're looking through, you can tell that a lot of the inventory has been gone through and consumed. There are broken bottles on the ground, along with puddles of goblin urine of different, some of it looks really unhealthy, some of it looks the normal goblin unhealthy, and there are you can tell that they were getting high on Dr. Cumberbund's supply.
I wanna take his recipe book and start looking, seeing if I can pull any raw ingredients that are necessary. Stephanie, you know these bottles better than anyone else here. Are there any that remain that are any of the good potions?
Do I have that knowledge?
Why don't you roll a wisdom check?
Man, Stephanie does not do well with wisdom checks. 12.
12, okay. You know that Dr. Cumberbund uses a kind of an obscure shorthand in his alchemical journals, and you think that given a little bit of time that you might be able to work out one of these recipes. So let's give you 3 kind of options for pursuit. You can pursue and try to replicate his healing potion. You could also pursue and try to replicate a a potion to boost AC. And then let's say there's another kind of potion for like a vial of acid, just a nasty splash weapon.
Oh, let's go. I'll try to do healing potion.
Okay. So you're going to kind of peruse and try to do that. And
All right.
We're going to now cut to Dr. Cumberbund. Dr. Cumberbund, you and Francesca were halfway through the woods on your way back to the Reinhardt Public House as best as you could tell, when you were ambushed by orcs and goblins, one with a hooked nose and a big broadsword, who you've heard whispers his name is Shiz. And Shiz is prodding you along. You were beaten, you were stripped of your weapons, and marched back to the Goblin Moonshine Camp, along with Francesca. You don't know what happened to Jerry Duster. He fell behind sometime, pretty quickly on, actually. And really not a lot of cardio, that one. And now you find yourself behind enemy lines. And you're led up to a rough platform where there is a huge, strangely red-skinned orc sitting in front of a still identical to 2 that you've seen. The missing 3rd sister still to the one previously owned by the Cropper brothers, and also identical to the one owned by Reinhardt. And you can only presume that the Baron had a hand in getting this complex piece of machinery here to this Goblin Moonshine Camp. And this idea is further supported by the fact that 2 of the Baron's Red Guardsmen are here and appear to have fallen into feral nature and joined with these subhuman scum. Well, looks like Schniz brought me a little treat. What'd you find out there, Schniz?
I'm Dr. Cumberbund, and this is Francine.
Francesca, my name is Francesca.
All right, Francesca.
Only my friends call me Francine, and I don't even like it when they call me Francine.
Okay, that's enough. All right, I didn't ask. And who am I meeting now? It's a beautiful place you have here. Quite the still.
The red-skinned orc leans back in his chair, filling his cup from the the big keg behind him of a brew that you recognize as nasty. He takes a long draught, letting it spill over his chest, and you can see that his veins ripple in response, and he goes, "Oh, yeah. Well, I guess you could say that I'm the big cheese around here. The name's Grizz, and these are my associates, Biz and Niz." And these two other orcs, they nod in response. Grizz stands up in front of a round table that is holding an impossibly large axe. Even Grizz, who looks like he's nearing 8 feet tall, it doesn't seem like he could really pick up and use it. It seems an impractical weapon. He lifts this little club that he has, a little spike club, and he grabs a rock from a pile of rocks nearby, and he says, "Maybe you heard of me." And he points off into the distance. He throws the rock up, and he smacks it, and it flies off with a crack outside of the goblin camp. And
Like a Babe Ruth moment.
The group hears it land somewhere behind them, and all the goblins start to cheer. Yeah! Woohoo! Grizz, Grizz, Grizz!
Well, I have heard of you. Everyone's been talking about you. They say you're a fearless leader.
I am a leader. I'm a leader. Well, I really consider myself to be more of an activist, an orcs' rights activist, and to much lesser extent, a goblins' rights activist.
Well, I happen to be well up on the orcs' rights movement.
He looks at you skeptically.
I want to make a bluff check here. 14. That'd be 18.
Okay, I'm gonna roll against that. That's a pretty good roll. Okay, so he looks at you with surprise. He says, "Really? Well, tell me what you know. I haven't heard of whatever you are. You don't look like you'd be interested in orc affairs. You don't look like you know anything about the plight of the orcish people." And I'm going to give you a minute on the timer here, and I'm listening, but I'm going to take a whiz.
Well, my interest started in my own sort of half-breeding. I was neither human nor elf, and I think that sort of sowed the seed of interest in the downtrodden in the Veldt lands. Orcs have certain challenges because they're so strong and such fearless fighters that people assume that that they don't have a more intellectual side, or that they don't have their own culture, and I think that's just very shameful.
Yeah.
Such a rich culture.
He's listening, but his attention span, you can tell, is kind of like waning a little bit. Did you?
Well, let me shorten it down here.
He says, orcs, "Did you know that on average orcs live 17 years shorter than humans? And on average, they live thousands of years less than elves. Did you know that? Why do you think that is?"
Well, I think it's merely because they don't have...
Did you know that goblins live... Hey, shut up.
I think all orcs need to be up there with elves and surpassing humans because they are physically superior to humans.
You guys are disgusting. What are you talking about?
Healthcare.
This is bullshit.
It's all a matter of healthcare.
Hey, shut her up. And Schniz comes from behind and claps an armored hand over Francesca and drags her over and ties her off onto this gate over here. And with that, we're going to move back to Langdon's turn.
Huh.
Did I find it? Can I look at the potions that are there and see if I can sort of like recognize any of them as like decent potions, or
Yeah, so there's 3 intact bottles there. And one of them you pretty readily identify as being a bottle of Nasty.
Okay.
The next appears to be a highly flammable but medically or recreationally unviable bottle of one of Dr. Cumberbund's false elixirs. And then the last is essentially an armor boost potion. I will say that it makes you kind of quickens your metabolism for a little bit here.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna stash those away and say we've got 3 no healing potions, but they could possibly come in handy. 2 weapons and 1 armor. What have you found out, Stephanie? Have you been able to get any of those healing potions pulled together?
Yeah, I can make this out. I remember how to read this now. Am I like, did I create them, Woody, or was I just reading them?
Yeah. So I think you've figured out, that you can cobble together some ingredients and maybe make a couple of healing potions.
All right.
On your turn, let's just do a successful check with wisdom against a 12.
16. Whew.
Oh,
Stephanie
nice.
beats a wisdom check. All right.
And then let's roll a d4 to see how many healing potions that you can create from what's left in the cart.
Got it. 1.
Okay, so you managed to cobble together a healing potion, and you're pretty proud of yourself.
Hey guys, look at what I did. I made 1 whole healing potion for us.
Ooh.
Let's hope that we don't have to use it. But I commend you, Stephanie. You're an asset to this team.
What's the strange?
Thank you.
You're an acid head.
You're an asset.
All right, Jerry.
I know you're an acid head, but you're an asset this time.
Okay. Yeah, I guess we need to get together, figure out some sort of plan for rescuing those 2. Have you guys thought of anything?
Well, originally I had wanted to maybe drop some somnium and scatter it around their camp, have them charged and blow them up and scare them out. But I don't know that we have the time for that or for any traps. What with our friend being held captive. But I do have these 5 somnium pieces if we think that it's a viable option to.
I've got a few somnium pieces.
Who said that?
You should eat them.
Who did?
They're big.
Down here in the grass, asshole.
Is that
I'm on your food place.
is that the kobold?
Yeah, it's me, Trimerius. Hey, look at me.
I forgot about Chimerius.
Trimerius crawls up and starts to crawl up on your pant leg, Jerry. He wants to get a better height so he can be part of the conversation.
All right, I'm going to lift him up and put him on my shoulder.
Okay, so he's there perched on your shoulder, and he's saying, how come nobody's asked me to help? I'm small. They can't see me.
Well, little guy, you got any big plans?
Well, I was up there. I could see for what seemed like feet and yards and some unimaginable distance. And I saw the goblins, and I saw what they're up to. I think I can sneak in, and maybe I can let them free.
All right,
that's a good idea.
And I've become a lot more casual sounding since I left my birthplace. I'm my pedigree. Could have been the potion.
That gives me an idea, actually. Why don't I can use that somnium to charge 2 pieces and link them together. Now, if there is a fearless leader, Grizz, if we plant one of the somnium pieces and the goblins find it, it seems logical that it would end up in Grizz's hands, don't you think?
Possible.
Oh, that makes sense.
So we leave a piece of somnium for the goblins to find. They carry it with them into their camp, and then one of us can, I guess I can ignite the other piece, blow up the one from inside the camp, and during all that chaos, we have Trimeria sneak through and let them out to escape.
Oh, okay. I've got a little something to add to that plan. And we're going to cut to Dr. Cumberbund. Well, I really think you have some progressive views there. What did you say your name was?
Dr. Cumberbund.
Oh, doctor. Yeah, right. Well, you know what they call me, right?
I believe I do.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, you're going to get intimately acquainted with my namesake pretty soon here.
Well, there's part of my namesake.
Bring the dark lady over here. And you see that they unhook and they start to bring Francesca over to the table here. Grizz fills up another mug full of nasty and takes a big gulp. And you can see as he does, the veins in his neck and on his shoulders and arms, they ripple and kind of pulsate with this, orange fluid. And his skin, he gets a little more rosy in the face and a little bit more rosy across his skin. Here he says, "Oh, that's a good one." And he picks up a rock.
The Kool-Aid man.
He picks up a rock and he throws it in the air and cracks it. And it goes flying off into the distance. Over and nearly reaches the mouth of the cave, and all the goblins jump up in delight. Yeah, Grizz! And he says, "Listen, because I like you, I'm going to let you go. You go back there and you tell your friends that are creeping around on the edge of my camp that I want something from them. And if I get it, then maybe I don't mess up this pretty little thing's brains, okay?"
Well, what do you want?
I want Reinhardt.
We can arrange that.
Go on then. Get it going.
Well, how do I know that Francesca is going to be okay? Because she's a valuable part of my work.
Your work? What are you talking about?
I'm a healer. I travel around and I heal what ails you. Perhaps you'd like a demonstration.
Okay, go on. I'm listening.
Do you have anyone here who is sick or wounded?
He claps his hands, and you see this very disgusting-looking kind of plague goblin steps forward. His skin is covered in pustules and boils, and he's been kind of ostracized, it looks like, from the rest of the group. But he steps forward, and then this is this is Chris. He's got something fucked up going on. Fix it.
As a side, so I don't have any of my
fix that.
I don't have any of my shit with me, right? Or anything?
No, you don't have anything with you. It's back. Right. Yeah, I mean, there's some supplies back in your cart.
Okay.
Tell you what, we confiscated this cart that was ditched outside of town. Maybe go and rifle through that and see if you can come up with something for Chris here.
Well, I can. That's my cart. That's where I manufacture all of my healing elixirs. And not only will I heal him.
Okay, you're starting to bore me there, Doc. Why don't you move along? I've got a timetable here. And he starts filling up another mug of nasty and
All right. Well, I can't carry it by my own. Send me Send me someone who can help me.
Well, you got that fancy looking coat on. Maybe I'll send you your own little retinue. And he motions to the red guards to go with you. Because I'm assuming that you're wearing the Baron's coat.
I believe I was, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so he sends you off with the escort of these two guards. And kind of the way is parted for you as you exit and move out of the camp.
Swank. Hey, you're all right, Grizz.
You all right, Grizz?
You're all right.
All right. So, Stephanie, as you're here mixing and elixing,
You okay? Did you fall over?
Oh, my furry friend there. Okay, now.
What happened?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, are you okay? What's
I
going
just
on?
dropped my microphone. My little fur baby.
Oh,
Oh, I thought I heard you say, ow, 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 ow.
Yeah, that was me.
I swear that I did not. So, surprisingly, Stephanie, you look up and quick, make a perception check.
2.
A 2, perfect. Okay. Somehow nearby, the Baron, a ghost from your recent past, comes into your midst with 2 of his red guard. What do you do?
Oh, I'm lunging City Skinner out at
Okay.
the Baron.
Go ahead and roll.
15.
What's that?
15.
Okay, 15. You jump forward and with your knife outstretched towards the Baron. And yeah, what's your armor class there, Dr. Cumberbund?
14.
Okay, so go ahead and roll your damage, Stephanie.
All right. 6.
All right, you slice at the Baron, only to realize after making your slice that it is none other than Dr. Cumberbund in the Baron's outfit and inexplicably surrounded by 2 of the Baron's red guard.
Oh my God, what are you doing? I could have killed you. Do you know what I did to the last man I saw wearing that coat?
I think I saw that. Oh, well, at least it's already red.
You ruined Dr. Cumberbund's new pimp digs.
Here, I just made this. Do you want it? I'm going to hand up a healing potion.
Oh, yeah. And we're going to need a couple more of these. I'm going to drink that healing potion, which I think does
D6, I think.
2d6 heal.
Oh, okay. 2d6.
8.
Okay. Feeling even better than before.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
All right. Are we clear? Let's get the hell out of here. You see the Red Guardsmen, they start to bolt. They're turning to leave, so y'all have a response to that action.
Get him!
I want to reach out and try to grab the closest one to me.
Okay. Go ahead and roll for that.
6.
All right, you reach out to grab him, but he brushes past you. Langdon?
I'm going to throw a Somnium gem at them and command them to freeze.
Okay, go for it.
So I rolled a 19 on my touch attack.
Sure. Okay, so they freeze in place. Boom, they stop. And Jerry.
All right, let's tie them up. I'm going to get my rope out and start tying them up back to back.
Okay, so as you're tying, Trimey is running up and down your arm, kind of pulling, he's making a big show out of helping you out. So he's not really doing anything, but you appreciate the effort. He climbs back and he says, Doc, I'm so glad you're back. And Trimey jumps off of you and onto the dock and goes up there and he's, his whiskers are flicking about on his ear, I guess. As a sign
Hey,
of
little
affection.
guy.
Boy,
You're a
what the
little
hell
more
happened?
casual than you were.
Oh yeah, I'm real city mouse now.
Yeah, all right.
First country mouse. Oh, I'm kind of confused.
Yeah, country.
I'm a little bit country.
I'm a little bit country.
You're a little bit country, aren't you?
What
That's
happened?
it.
What's going on up there? Where's Francesca?
Well, she's being held hostage by Grizz. But-
What does that mean?
Well, he wants us to deliver him Reinhardt in exchange for Francesca.
Oh,
That's gonna be messy.
what does that mean?
There's
Uh,
no way Francesca lets us give up her dad and just walks away.
Well, maybe.
She's all like, let's go get him. He's the best. He fights goblins.
Yeah, she also was like, let's go piss him off and fuck the Baron.
She did
I'm
run
not
away.
really sure what her relationship is with him.
I guess that's true.
But
that is remains to be
In
seen.
any case, she having Reinhardt by our side, if we're gonna like plan some sort of assault, might not be the worst plan. Maybe we're playing right into Grizz's hand, but maybe we're not. They're not too smart, right?
But I think these guardsmen are gonna talk once Jerry's got them all bound up there. I say we make ourselves a couple of red guard scarecrows that we can move around out here just in case they're watching us.
You mean we should dress in their clothes, or?
Either that, or at least like stake up their helmets and whatever chest piece on something.
Well, what did you tell them? Why did they go with you?
Well, I told them I'd need someone to help me move this cart, and I told them I would bring the cart back and I would heal any of the wounded men.
Okay, so don't you think they're gonna get suspicious when you don't immediately come back, like right now?
Well, one thing we could do is we could try and set a trap to bring them out. We could bring the cart part way, and then maybe we could dress up as the guardsmen or something. Bring the cart and pretend, or like have the wheel fall off or something.
All right, you all hear a crack in the distance, and then this pew, and the sounds of goblins cheering, and everybody make a reflex save here.
Fuck.
18.
12.
I
No,
got
9.
7.
I got 21. Woo.
Jerry, you got a 7?
Yeah.
All right, Jerry, out of nowhere, blunk, this rock hits you in the head for 1 point of damage.
God damn it.
I think that we should. I think that that Jerry, you and I should dress up like the guardsmen. Cumberbund and Stephanie, maybe do your old routine. They want to see the routine. They want to get healed, right?
Right.
But what if they don't realize that the men inside the suits are actually other, I don't know, aren't their allies anymore? And then we can have the rat here drop off some
Here, I got
shotgun
an idea.
pieces, like Gerald had mentioned earlier, dropping them off around the campsite so we can blow them up.
Yeah.
Yeah, how much somnium do we actually have?
I have 4 pieces.
I have
0.
4 pieces.
How many?
I have 4 wish nuggets.
Because what we could do,
1, 2, 3. Whoop, 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 whoop. He's juggling these little rocks.
that's very good, Tremerian. Here's what I'm thinking, though. We can load up some of the somnium in the cart and charge one of those pieces with another piece. And then it won't matter if he recognizes the guards aren't actual guards until they're up close. But we just need to get that cart close to Grizz. In the meantime, Trimerius could be sneaking into the camp to at least loosen the bonds that are. I don't know how what's her name's being held captive, but maybe he can figure out a way to either loosen the bonds or find an escape route or something. That way, when the cart explodes and everything's crazy, they'll have a clearer idea of like the quickest escape route.
I'll do it.
Do you want your cart to explode, Dr. Cumberbund?
Not really.
Oh yeah, I guess this plan does involve blowing up your cart.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, you already got everything valuable out of it.
That's true. I think that I like the idea of having you, Jerry, and Langdon dress up as the guardsmen. Since they're so heavily armored, they'll never notice, I don't think. And then Stephanie and I can distract them with a healing seminar, and then Trimerius can stash some explosives. But then again, if we could, I suppose drawing them out one by one could be pretty difficult, I guess.
Well, how much healing do how much healing do they need? Could we leave the cart here and try to convince them to come out the cart one by one, and we'll just slay them off?
Yeah. Well, I feel like they'll probably catch on to that when no one comes back, but maybe not.
They went to live a free life.
Yeah. I think
I like the idea of having somnium planted on the other end of the camp, and then like kind of blow it. Like, Jerry, how many of those pieces can you link together? Is it just two, or?
Well, I think I can just link two, but if I blew one up that was linked to the other one, which caused it to explode, if it was in close enough proximity to another, you could set off a chain reaction.
Not a bad idea.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, so
Well, you could also
y'all hear a crack, and everybody make a reflex save.
13.
You got a 9.
I got 6.
So you're the lowest, Dr. Cumberbund?
Yeah, I guess so.
Dr. Cumberbund, you get hit in the back with a rock for 2 damage, and this one has a little note balled up. It's like covered in paper.
Ah, God damn it! Oh, what? There's a note on this one. All right. I want to pick it up. I'll read it out loud. It's mirrored. We can't see.
Hurry up, please.
Okay.
Hold on. Is this right now? No.
Cool. All right.
Hold on.
All right. They're getting impatient here. We got to make a move.
All right, here's the move. You go back in with the cart. You use your healing demonstration to distract them. Meanwhile, Trimerius will he can be sneaking in some pieces of somnium and into some strategic locations, and then I guess one of them will be linked. And when the time seems right, maybe we just set off the Somnium, and in the chaos that ensues, try and free Reinhardt's daughter.
Okay, guys. So with the dropping of this note, I've rolled my timer dice, and we've got 2 full rounds here to engage before Grizz does something dramatic. So go ahead, and we'll start with Langdon here, and you can finish out your dialogue here, but I'm going to put it on a timer.
I agree with that plan, Jerry.
I think the only thing
we may not have time to get into these outfits anymore. Does Dr. Cumberbatch, does he know that we're out here?
Just to like, metagame or whatever, you would have time to get into the outfits. Like, that won't take you long.
Okay, cool.
That can be one an action for somebody is putting on an outfit.
He knows you're out here, so we got to get back. Otherwise, he's going to expect collusion.
Cool. So we should get in the outfits. Make sure you tell him that, and I'm going to start getting into one of them. Make sure you tell him that you sent the rest of us off to go get Reinhardt.
Yeah. I want to get to work trying to fashion a healing potion also.
All right, so let's start with Langdon. Langdon, you're going to spend this turn getting into an outfit?
Yeah, I'm going to get into one of them outfits.
Okay, so you take on one of the guardsman's outfits.
Cool.
I'm going to do that as well, Woody.
Okay, Jerry, you also are in a guardsman outfit. What are the guardsmen's doing? What are you doing with them? You got them tied up?
Yeah, they were tied up.
We got them tied up. They're bound and gagged, and they're going to be hidden in that tent, I guess.
Okay, so you stuff those guys into the tent.
I'm going to work with Dr. Cumberbatch on making some healing potions since I don't need to change clothes.
Okay. So, yeah, you guys spend a turn doing that, and Trimerius says, "What do I do? I forgot."
All right,
give all your Somnium pieces to Jerry so you can get him charged up.
I don't know about that. You can have 2. And he gives you 2 pieces.
Cool. Jerry, I'm gonna give you 2 pieces for you to charge as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you 2 pieces also.
And we should give the 3 separate charged pieces to our little boy here to drop them off, and then Jerry, you have the 3 triggers to ignite them when they're ready. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Hey, Woody.
Yeah.
Can I use my ability? Can I only use the ability to link 2 pieces at a time?
Well, I don't know. I never thought about it before. If the group thinks it's permissible, if the 2 pieces are linked, and we just keep track of it that way, it could get out of hand. I'm thinking not necessarily from a, like mechanical standpoint, but just like, you might lose track of which pieces are linked up, and like, I don't want to keep track of it basically. So we could say in a combat setting, or like they would unlink after a while or something. I mean, what do you think what are your instincts mechanically with this?
Well, I think, that would make sense that the link would maybe diminish after a certain period of time. But, I think it would make the game, it would speed up gameplay and stuff, too, if I had the ability to link, 5 of the pieces to the 6th piece rather than, 3 pairs.
Right. Okay, well, let's say that
it could be advantageous for gameplay and
let's say that we'll make it a check. So we'll make basically a check, and based on if you successfully make the check, we'll roll and see how many pieces you can link. And I'll give you a bonus with a higher check. For now, let's do it that way. So
okay,
nice.
So why don't you go ahead and just make like a wisdom check here, or charisma, I guess, if you use charisma for your Somnium abilities.
Okay, I got a 19.
Okay, yeah. So go ahead and roll on a D4, and you can do a +3.
Okay, so I got a 5.
Okay, so you could link, 5 pieces to one, igniter, so to speak.
Okay, so that's perfect for this situation. I'll hold on to the igniter piece, and the 5 linked ones, I guess, we'll give to Trimerius to place around the perimeter of the camp.
I can only carry 2 at once.
Maybe we'll drop a couple as we go along on the perimeter as we walk by.
Okay, so we'll give Trimerius 2 of them, and
Ooh, they're warm.
and then maybe.
I have I'm pretty good at sneaking stuff onto people. I could take one and try to stash it while we're doing our sideshow.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Okay.
Do a sleight of hand into him.
Yeah.
Nice.
So we'll give Trimerius 2, and then maybe Stephanie has one. Langdon and I can each have one.
Okay.
Since Dr. Cumberbund is going to have a lot of attention on him, I think it would make more sense for us to try and have him and strategically place him.
Okay, I'm going. Hey, wait, where do I put these?
Well,
huh? We all go,
I'd say put them somewhere near, maybe near Reinhardt's daughter, but not close enough to injure her.
As close to the red orc as you can get.
Yeah, Trimerius, drop one into the kettle. The still.
Okay, I'm going. I got it. Okay, got it. Yeah, got it. And Trimerius runs off through the grass, bounding along. Doing, 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 doing.
So, I know
Dr.
Stephanie made like a healing potion. Is there some like way that I can quick and dirty make some fill one of those empty vials with like some kind of acidy, some kind of corrosive, nasty shit?
Yeah, so let's say, we've all done one action here. Let's start with Langdon again, and we'll go around for our second turn here. Langdon, it's your turn, yeah.
Cool. I am going to. I'd like to. How long will that armor potion last for?
We'll say that it lasts for a 2d6 rounds.
Cool. I'm gonna just give that to Stephanie because she's pretty unarmored,
Okay.
and I'm feeling pretty good in this heavy armor.
You hear that, Stephanie?
Yeah.
Okay.
I accept it graciously.
And so yeah, you give the potion to her. And are you guys? Who's pulling the cart here?
I will be, and same with, and maybe Jerry.
yeah.
Dr. Cumberbund, you're making some kind of a thrown acid weapon here.
Yeah.
What is your desired effect for this thing? 'Cause you're working with your familiar tools. We're going to give you advantage on this roll and see what you can come up with. What are you looking for?
So I'm looking for basically something to put in the same vial that I put my healing potions in. I'm looking for something that'll, burn skin and eyes and mouth and essentially an acid kind of concoction.
Okay, well, go ahead and make a check with whatever your relevant modifier would be for this.
Yeah. I have a medicine check that I could add to it.
Okay.
Does that seem decent to you?
If that's what you use to grow your potions, yeah.
Yeah. Right. And then the other would be like a wisdom or intelligence.
Josh.
I'm leaving it to your discretion.
Okay, I'll do a wisdom with +1.
Well, we'll as a precedent if you're going to do this kind of thing in the future.
Yeah. So wisdom and medicine will give me a +2 to my roll here. I got 6.
Okay, so you mix together, but all you come up with is just a bottle of liquid, basically, that looks kind of like it could be something, but is in fact not much of anything.
All right. Well, I'll take it with me anyway.
Okay. Stephanie, your last action.
I don't really think I need anything else, right? I'll pose it to the group. Anything else I need to grab or do before we head in?
Help me make this acid poison. Give it a
All
shot.
right.
Well, here's my question. Stephanie, are you just walking right in with us, or are you going to be sneaking around on the outside of the camp?
Oh, I'm walking in. It was my understanding that we were gonna give them the full Dr. Cumberbund experience.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Gotcha. I understand.
She's gonna be my
Assistant.
assistant.
Okay.
Or he.
Yeah. That's part of the gig.
Yeah.
Are you going to disguise
Put on my
yourself?
Steve's mask.
Do the old Steve routine?
The old
Yeah, I
Steve.
am doing the old Steve routine. I kind of thought Stephanie was like so androgynous that there wasn't much.
Oh, I think you have to, like, put ways, you know? You have to,
Yeah.
it's a little bit of an effort.
She just has to
Okay,
part her hair the other way.
Yeah, exactly.
I do.
Do up one button
I do
and part your hair the other way.
Yeah,
Rub
I
a little
do
bit of charcoal over your lip.
Yeah, let's say I've done all of that, and then can I also try to attempt to make this acid potion?
Okay, yeah. Make an attempt.
11.
Okay, no dice.
All right.
Jerry.
Okay. I'm going to, since Langdon and I will each probably be taking a handle of the cart, with my other hand, I want to basically position my charged somnium piece kind of like in my pant leg, so that as we're walking through the fort,
Oh shit, I got something to do here.
I can kind of let it fall out the bottom of my pants, you know, like Great Escape style, or
Okay.
that sort of thing.
Or that YouTube video where the guy drops the poop out of his pant leg.
I've got an idea here, or something that we could do would be, there's this oil-covered orc in there, or goblin, who I could heal with the healing potion that I do have, and then I could pour these fake potions into the still, where hopefully they'll gather around and try and take sips off the still mixed in with the nasty, and then we could have some of the somnium detonate inside the still.
Yeah, that sounds like a good plan.
Except for the fact that the nasty might make them go wild, but
Yeah,
that's my only trepidation there.
true.
Nasty? You have nasty?
No one said anything about nasty.
Trimerius
You don't want to go back to being an
back
asset,
to the
right? You want to be an asset.
Trimerius comes bounding back through the grass in front of your cart here, and he looks flustered. Okay, I placed the pieces, but you have to hurry. He's got Francesca, and he's about to do something to her.
Uh-oh.
Where'd you put the pieces?
I put one right under the table there, and I put another by the still.
By the still or in the still?
Oh, by the still. I had to get out. They were going to find me.
All right. Okay, cool. Good job.
Let's go.
All right, let's do this thing.
All right.
Trimerius runs up, and he climbs up your shoulder there, Dr. Cumberbund, and he tucks himself into your lapel. Into your front pocket, rather. Okay, so you're going to pull the wagon cart up to the entrance.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so you pull it up a ways, and two goblins facilitate, and they show you the direction you should be headed. And, yeah, so you grunt and you strain. You get this thing up the ramp, and you kind of have to work your way in through the kind of circuitous defenses of the camp here. But you pull your cart up and present yourselves to Grizz.
We return, Grizz. And look, I found my assistant, Steve.
Your Majesty.
He has heard of your majesty.
Oh, this one looks familiar to me.
Probably not. I doubt it. But yes, he's got one of those faces. Kind of weird, can't quite tell type of face.
I get that a lot.
Okay, so, all right, well, are you going to help Chris? He's disgusting.
Yeah. All right. Everyone gather around and take a look at what a real doctor can do.
Okay, at any point along the path there, Jerry, did you drop your load yet?
Yeah, I guess, let's say I dropped it, more like, is that a goblin behind the cart?
Yeah.
Like, I guess between where those goblins on the wall are at and the sort of fortification on the ground. Let's say I dropped one there.
Like,
you know what I mean?
Here?
It'd be like
right there?
closer to the tree. Yeah, like between those two crates on the ground.
Okay. Like that?
Yep, that's good.
And that's where's your trigger? You still got your trigger?
The trigger is still in my pocket.
Okay. Okay, so we're going to go to, unless Jerry or Langdon are going to do anything in the guise of the guards, we're going to go to Dr. Cumberbund and Stephanie as they present their medicine show.
All right.
To Skullfucker Grizz. And Grizz steps forward to get a better view of the going-ons, and he pushes aside Biz. Well?
Oh, yes, this is a tough case here. I'm sure you've all seen your comrade in arms here, covered in painful boils and blisters, and not only does it make him feel bad about himself, am I right? Just your Yes, but it's also diminishes his effectiveness in combat, which, as we know for orcs, is unacceptable.
Make a charisma check.
I can also add my performance bonus, which is a +4.
All right. Yeah.
20. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, as you're giving your presentation, some of the goblins that have had their posts a little bit farther out start to kind of mingle, and Niz is over here right next to Biz, and Biz and Niz are also listening intently to your presentation. You've definitely struck a chord. You definitely know your audience and how to, how to speak to them. So everybody's kind of bunched up around here. They've kind of congregated around your group. And continue. Go on.
I mean, now what I have here, what Steve and I have concocted in the cart is Dr. Cumberbund's curative elixir, which I've been traveling the land and sharing with the people and healing people, haven't we? How many have we healed, Steve?
Oh, millions. Millions.
Millions. Unbelievable. But, no more talking, because I know that you'd rather see it work. Come over here. Young man, young Orc man?
Chris, he slowly limps over there and lifts a droopy head towards you and kind of weakly holds out his arms, his boiled arms in front of him.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna have him. Let's see. I'm gonna go over to this kind of like table where the goblins are standing on, or if that's like a little battlement or something.
Yeah, it's a long table that they've made into a barricade.
Okay. All right. Now lay down here on the table, and I'm gonna kind of purposefully like obscure the view to hope that people kind of come in closer.
Okay. This goblin hops off, and Schniz also makes way so that Chris can be raised up onto the table, and he dutifully lies down.
Yeah. So I'll pass the bottle over. I'll take like a little sip. Not only does it cure, but it is delicious. And I'll pass it over to Steve, and Steve, administer the doctor's elixir.
Yes, doctor. I'm gonna. Now, what you're about to witness me doing is me curing everything that ails this poor soul with the help of the magical Dr. Cumberbund. And I'm just kind of gonna like sprinkle it like very uncoordinatedly. It kind of toss it over the wound.
Oh, it burns.
No.
That's how you know it's working.
It's true. But now, see what happens when Steve has him drink the elixir.
Here you go.
All right,
I'm gonna cradle his head.
I want you I want you to both make a kind of a concerted effort here to heal this thing's strange condition with this healing potion.
All right.
And let's say you both roll, and we'll take the better roll, and you're going against a 12 to heal the kind of, not just the wound damage, but the, disease of this poor soul.
So I got a 2.
I got a 7.
Oh shit!
All right, so you're kind of mixing this thing in, and I mean you're putting it around, and he seems to be enjoying it, and he might be feeling a little bit better, but the crowd is kind of like getting impatient, and they're like looking on and going like, "What's going on? He still looks gross. He smells gross too. Hey, shut up."
Let's see. Well,
While
This
everyone
what they
is
taught you
sort
in
of,
school, Dr. Cumberbund. Go ahead, Langdon.
while everyone's sort of confused and kind of milling about, I want to toss my charged somnium piece in the air towards the still.
Okay, make an attack.
Just like sort of lobbing it to try to get it over there. And I rolled a 19.
19, okay. Okay, I need like a... Oh, wrong camera. Hold on. Well, I shouldn't have to do this, but anyways, I rolled against you for goodness. Because he's trying to bat this thing away, spot it and bat it away. And he did roll a natural 20. That's not going to be visible. Anyways, I did promise that I rolled a natural 20.
I believe you.
So Grizz steps forward, and he quickly cracks and smacks this piece of somnium. It goes flying off behind you, and boom, the red flash explodes, and all the goblins jump up and cheer. Yeah! And then they're like, wait a minute, like, oh, wait! They're like, they're kind of Pavlovian response, and then they realize what's happening. And Grizz,
Wait.
bad move.
Sorry.
Bad move. And he grabs Francesca, and Biz and Niz step forward, and the goblins as well. I'm going to switch cameras here. So Grizz grabs Francesca, and he passes her off to Biz. who takes her over and throws her on the ground underneath this keg that kind of receives the nasty from the still. And at Grizz's signal, he opens up the keg in a trickle, and it starts pouring over the tied-up Francesca and kind of, splashing all over her face. He's effectively waterboarding her with nasty. And I'm going to roll a timer to kind of give her her survival in this situation, or before she goes down. And it's got 5 rounds here. So I'm going to be timing this down. This is our timer. Zoom out, get a little better view of things. And with that, we'll start combat.
Damn it. This really went tits up here.
Sorry, guys.
So are we rolling initiative?
Sure. We can do it that way, or we can just go down from Langdon. I don't really care. If you guys keep track of initiative, I'm cool with it.
Whatever's easier. If you want us to just go down the line.
No, we'll just say that was Langdon's action. And now we'll go to Dr. Cumberbund. And I'm just going to do most of the actions of the enemies here as response actions, kind of reactions, more so than their own turn. So with that in mind, Dr. Cumberbund, it is your turn here as Chris lurches on the spectating table.
Does Chris have a weapon or anything?
No.
Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna bash him over the head with the other one of the bottles I got.
Okay, and we'll say that you've got, for the sake of argument, you say that you have your weapons, Dr. Cumberbund, that they were given back to you.
Oh, okay. In that case,
but let's go with that and go ahead and bash him with the other bottle.
Yeah. I got 5. These rolls suck.
Stephanie.
I want to. I'm hiding.
Okay.
I'm really good at it, and I want to hide in the closest spot to Grizz as I can. So maybe.
All right. So you're pretty open out in the open right now. How are you going to get to a hiding position here?
Which one of the tall men is Grizz? The purple jacket.
That's correct. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna try to hide behind the casket.
The what? The big cask?
The cast. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. I mean, you're pretty in the open. If you're just gonna make a run to get behind the cask, you'll have to get past Schniz, so he's gonna attack you.
All right.
He's gonna get an attack of opportunity on you. But you can still do it.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so he takes a swipe with his sword at you as you dart past him, and he gets a 7. He doesn't hit you. So you run back here and kind of squeeze in behind this thing, and I'm going to give Grizz advantage on seeing you. You're pretty much out in the open, but there was a slight distraction here, so we'll see if he spots you. Go ahead and roll your hide check. Are you there? Is everybody frozen?